Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are working on our coloring book. So I actually have Allie sitting here. We've been friends for a long time and this is kind of like her hard launch onto this channel. We've been friends for so long and I'm so excited to be working on this coloring book together. If you guys haven't been keeping up, we've started this book in November. We're basically turning all of my characters like Maxine the Goldfish, Coffee Bara, Matcha Bara, all my bears and bunnies, all of my clay characters into an illustrated coloring book, and I'm so excited because we finished like the meat of the project and now it's on to the nitty-gritty, but this is where it usually gets me. All right, you guys, this is Allie. How did we meet?
I think I saw your page from one of our mutual friends' page. And then I was like, I'm gonna reach out because she's so cool.
We went to the same university, but we never had any classes together, which is really funny. We had mostly the same professors, but we just never had any classes because I was majoring in digital design and you were majoring in
illustration.
So just totally different curriculum. Like I was always on Adobe Illustrator and you never used it basically. So after college, of course, I started my small business and then Allie started her tattoo apprenticeship. Did you start that right out of college?
No, I think I spent a few months doing art markets.
Yeah.
Which I learned a lot from. Like you can't only have originals because you can't do that at art markets. It's so hard.
Go back to when I only sold like 4 plushies at the art market.
No.
Yeah, that's a good tip for people to know that original art doesn't really do well at markets unless like you have the audience and they know that you're at the market. And now we are making our first coloring book together. I'm hoping this will be like a long-term thing. Hopefully like some of our biggest inspirations, they just have multiple coloring books like year in and year out. And I just thought this would be such a great thing because illustration is not my strong suit and that's all Allie does. You guys ask me all the time, like you guys ask me like, Tammy, why don't you make your own logo? Because you like did graphic design, like Tammy, why don't you draw? Like I did do everything by myself at first. And then I just realized throughout time, like we only have such a finite amount of time in a day. And most of my time was going towards marketing and content creation. So my skill level regarding illustration was just like not going up, but my standards were going up. So if my skill level is here and my standards up here and Allie's skill level is up here, like why not work with a friend and uplift other creators hopefully in the future too? I think it'd be so amazing for that. I wanted to show you guys our Milanote. If you guys remember, I use Milanote for all of our big creative collaborative projects. Not sponsored by Milanote, I just love them. Okay, so I hope you guys can see this, but this is our Milanote. We have different boards here. So these were all of the thumbnail sketches that Allie worked on. So amazing, so stunning. And then after thumbnails, we had refined digitals where there's a lot of feedback going on in this phase. I think we spent the most time in this phase, honestly, up until literally like today. We're still fixing things. And this is the line works. By the way, guys, we're working on a Saturday because this is just how we work. Basically, we just text for most of this project, but sometimes we'll meet up at cafes and coffee shops. And I think that's when like most of the real work gets done. I had like a crisis the other night where I was like, is this book ever gonna get done? So I hit up Allie and I was like, can we just sit together and like work on it for a few hours in person? And I think that's been really helpful. I already feel like a lot better about this. And speaking of spending time with other artists, I finally got the chance to meet my friend Joyce, who you guys may know as PWUFFY. She made these gorgeous maca buns, her Ita bags, her pins. She is a boss girl. I didn't film quite enough to put this as a real segment in this vlog, so I'm just gonna talk about it. We went to this tea house in Boulder, Colorado, and it was so beautiful. And during these times when I'm just sitting with friends, yapping my little mouth off, it's the perfect time to charge your devices. This video is so kindly sponsored by Anker. Anker is like the best brand for any portable chargers. Mr. Uncomfy and I have been using them for years, and Anker's 10K power bank lineup is the perfect lineup for all of your needs. So the one I have right here is Anker's Prime Power Bank. You may have saw this go viral on TikTok because it has an outlet directly built in so you can charge it, but while this charges, you can also charge other devices at the same time. It's super portable and nice for heading out. Like I can just fit it right in the side pocket of my purse. And it has 65 watts of fast charging, so I can even go outside and charge my laptop with it. I also love the little electronic display so you know exactly how much power is left in this bank, but it also also gives you all this other data like the temperature, the battery health, which is really cool to see. This is the perfect power bank for anyone that carries multiple devices in their bag like me. I have my phone, my camera, sometimes my headphones, my microphone, like I have so many things. Anker also has other 10K power banks that all serve different needs. So there's literally a power bank for everyone. Like if you don't want to bring a wire, this one has a wire with it. This one is really cool too because it has the normal USB-C, but also a special charger just for your Apple Watch. I know for me, my goal this year is to travel more and go outside my comfort zone. And the one thing that makes that easier is by having a power bank, a good, reliable, versatile, efficient, long-lasting power bank. If you want to check out Anker's 10K power bank lineup, click the link down below, and thank you Anker for sponsoring this video. So back to the line work. We are just fixing some things, but for the most part, all of them are done. I even printed all of them out a couple weeks ago just to see the page order. This is a pottery scene. I'm so excited for this because I'm actually gonna have a home studio again, a home ceramic studio here soon. So it's like this page manifested my little pottery corner. And then here on this side is our big checklist. So clearly we've done a lot of work. I have to design at least the inner left page with the publishing info, the table of contents, the thank you page for like the inner back page, and then the cover. The cover has been giving us so much grief. I don't even want to show them like the initial covers. They were so bad. One big tip that I have for any of you guys like designing anything that has something like a cover or even like a YouTube thumbnail, sometimes it's not your favorite page. It's not going to be your favorite artwork. It's not going to be your favorite scene from the video. It's going to be the part that makes the most sense. For example, I really love this capybara tea ceremony, but as a cover, it's just too much. The lines going up and like the angle of the room corner, like not even in the middle of the page, is too much. Where could we possibly put a book title here? You know, it's too much. For the longest time, I was like fighting it. I was like, I can make this work. Like it has to be the cover, and it doesn't have to be the cover. It just has to make the most sense. So what we're doing now is we're taking the scene from the coloring book that has like the most open space, but still encompasses like the characters and the type of nature scenes you can expect in our coloring book. And now Allie is just editing that to make more space for the words. And she's also testing out the colors too. Okay, so now I'm gonna work on the inner pages. So the publishing info and the author names. I don't know if we're gonna have room for our author names on the cover. I don't think we want that necessarily. We'll see, we'll see. But the inner page is definitely gonna have our names on it. And then the publishing info, things like copyright, you know, all rights reserved. It's gonna be so official, you guys. You're not even ready for it. Okay, we're gonna get to work. So you know how I made a big deal about figuring out the page order like a couple weeks ago? I don't know if that vlog is even uploaded yet. You might see it twice. I didn't record it anywhere. I just made the stack of papers and then I totally just disorganized it within like the last 20 minutes. So I'm doing it again, figuring out the page order so I can write the table of contents. Like I was telling them, like if it's a nature scene, I want the next page to be an indoor scene. If there's like a capybara on one page, I want the next page to have a different character. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. All right, you guys, I'm like halfway through naming the sheets. I didn't realize how long it'd take. Like thinking of a good, cute name that also makes sense and accurately describes the scene is really challenging, surprisingly. Now it's dinner time though. Mr. Uncomfy made us a wonderful dinner. Major Slay vegetables, char siu pork, rice, and lao gong. Good morning, guys. It's the next day. We are in the bedroom because I just felt like working in here. It's so nice and sunny, and Mr. Uncomfy's desk is also nice too. I've just been working on this thumbnail for my YouTube video that I uploaded yesterday, actually. So I know a lot of you guys are curious about content creation and making YouTube videos. It's not for the faint of heart, I will say. Like, you'll spend like 10, 20, 30 hours on a video, and then sometimes they just don't perform as well, which is fine. I love making videos, and one of my mantras I've been saying is like, the joy is in the creation. The reward is the creation. It's not the validation. I think for me, what trips me up is that I feel like sometimes what I put out isn't like my best work. I'm not proud of it sometimes, and that's really hard for me to come to grips with because I want to genuinely be proud of the work that I put out. So the vlog yesterday was my travel vlog to San Diego, which I knew is a bit different from my studio vlogs, and also I'm so much more comfortable at home. I can perform so much better in front of the camera at home. The audio is much better. Travel vlogs are so hard to make. I don't know how people do them. Let me show you guys the original thumbnails for them because they were pretty bad. So I literally use Canva to make all my thumbnails because I hate Adobe. Even though I use Adobe to edit my videos, I prefer to make the thumbnails in Canva. The first vibe that I put out was like these bunnies, and I thought they were really cute, but my big mistake, let me put this in full screen, was that as soon as it's super small, you can't really tell what I'm doing. It just looks like a big black mass, and also leaving home is like, I thought it'd be intriguing, but it's really not. It's like a stupid clickbait title. So now I've gone back with a fresh mind. You know, I'm not on only 6 hours of sleep. I got a full night of rest. I am rejuvenated by the wonderful time I spent with Allie yesterday. And now I can look back at like actually what parts of the video would make a good thumbnail. This is the lesson that we learned yesterday with the book cover. Sometimes it's not what you think is the cutest scene from the project. Like, I thought the bunnies would make such a good thumbnail, but really, I think these are much better to be thumbnails. So it's a clear picture of my face, which tends to do better. So I liked these two. So we're testing between all three of these actually. Out of the 3 thumbnails I posted yesterday, this one performed the best. So now we're going to add these 2 and see who's the winner. I'm actually satisfied with my work. Now, no matter what the views say, no matter what the analytics say, I'll be content. And that's the most important thing. Sometimes Mr. Uncomfy doesn't understand like why I'm toiling over the thumbnails for hours and hours. It's because I just need to be satisfied with my own work, and then like the numbers won't affect me as much. If I'm not satisfied with my work and I don't feel proud of what I put out there, if the numbers are bad, then that's just double invalidation, if that makes sense. So yeah, I'm happy now. Please watch this video if you haven't yet. It's so cute and like so sentimental. I was having such a hard time like coping with traveling by myself. I was having trouble not being with Winnie and not being with, you know, the people that I surround myself in my life, like my friends, Mr. Uncomfy, but also meeting new people and new friends was so worth it as well. So I am gonna try to get more out of my comfort zone this year, you know, stay uncomfy. So today is Sunday. It's about 10:30 in the morning. I honestly feel so much better than I did yesterday. Yesterday morning was just a doozy. Like, I woke up at 5 in the morning to finish the video. I uploaded it and then it like did not perform well at all, like I was saying earlier. So then I took like a depression nap, and then obviously Allie came over, and that made me feel so much better. I feel like there's a lot of discourse online nowadays about like influencers and how they need to touch grass, and I've really been, you know, taking that all into consideration too. Like, yes, this is my livelihood, so I should take it seriously, but also I've set up things for myself to where, you know, I'm actually working on art and working on a business, and these videos help with all of that, but they're not the end all be all, and I'm just so grateful to be able to do this anyway. I realized that after dinner, I forgot to update you guys on what we did last night. So we started at 3:30 and then we finished work officially at 9:30. So for 6 hours, we were just working. This is something that we did all the time when I was in university in design school. There were things called design sprints where you would get together with your group and basically just like hammer out all this work, do design exercises, do thumbnail sketches, just throw things out the wall basically. And that was what we called a sprint, because the idea is that if you just get your ideas down fast, if you just collaborate together, it's a lot better than being by yourself and toiling for hours and hours and hours. So let's see here. I did end up having to pay for the Adobe Illustrator package because I didn't want to design my book in Canva. I'm sorry. So my objective yesterday was to focus on all of the designed pages. So that means the cover, the inner left page, the table of contents, and then the inner back page, if that makes sense. But here is the cover. I love her so much. Obviously, we still have to colorize her. So that's what me and Ali are going to be working on. She's going to finish her colorized version and I'm going to take a stab at it myself and see if we can like maybe join forces in the end, because color is not our strong suit, you guys. Like there's so much that goes into contrast, saturation. I feel like the colors that I gravitate towards, at least digitally, are very muted, and then it just doesn't end up being as eye-catching or unique as I want it to be. I want our book to be like, not like the other girls, you know, like obviously our book is going to be very similar to other coloring books, but I want it to like feel like us, and that's the part that we've been struggling with so much is color. I adore the font that we chose. Feels handwritten, but it also feels like, it reminds me of Jeju Island Korean cafes. I think it's the G. It looks like Hangul, the Korean script language. So it looks like that. And it makes sense because a lot of our pages are Eastern Asian like scenery. Down here is a Maxine. And then we added our names on the front. It says Tammy and Ali. And then in this corner it says Volume 1 because I want to manifest future volumes. Immediately when you open the book, the inner left page will have all of our publishing info. But I also just wanted to have these two little guys here. And then here, after we figured out the order of the pages and the names of them, I was able to make the table of contents. It's not so much a traditional table of contents as it is just like a list that you can check things off. You can cross them off if you want. You could keep it as is. You can color it as like a warm-up or like a color testing page. Traditional coloring books don't usually have these, but I thought it was important for us to give the context of some of the scenes. Like one is a hot spring and one is a meditation pond. One is like an Ikebana class. So I wanted to write those things down just to give more context, just to explain what the scene is, especially if something was more specific, like there's a bunny ballet scene, but it's Swan's Lake, so there's feathers floating in the air. And when I tested this with my friends at Galentine's, a lot of people didn't know, like, are those feathers? Why are they there? And it's because it's Swan's Lake. I think this page will help a lot with that. And then after all the coloring pages, it's gonna be this page, the thank you page. So cute. I'm so happy, you guys. This is like something that I've been stuck on for the past month. And who knew, if you just sit down with your friend next to you for 6 hours straight, you could be so productive. The whole time we were just thinking about our typography professors and our design professors, and like, would they be ashamed of us that we don't remember like how to lay out pages and how to make, how to use Adobe? Shout out to CU Denver. Shout out to all my design professors because we're making a book. Hi guys, so I just changed because I'm actually on my way to my friend Bella's studio. I haven't been there in a while, so I'm just grabbing like all my camera stuff because I want to film it. And yeah, I figured I'd put a little bit more effort into my appearance today. I'm still not doing makeup because I just don't have time for that. So we're gonna go outside today. Yay. Okay, so since I wasn't able to talk much at the workshop, like out of respect for others, I wanted to sit down and explain the bookbinding process because I thought it was so fun and so cool to learn something new for once. The materials for bookbinding itself is super, super simple, something that you could find at almost any craft store. It's not like polymer clay or ceramics. I feel like the entry level to bookbinding is fairly low, but it's sort of like a low floor, high ceiling situation where it's super entry, like beginner friendly, but then it can get super complex. And if you want your corners and the pages to be exactly perfect and the binding to be really tight, then you can up your skill level all the way up there. You've probably seen people make fancy book covers for their favorite books on TikTok. These are the skills that they probably need for that, which I just think is so cool. So we start off with chipboard, and these two pieces of chipboard are going to be the front and back cover of the book. And today Bella was teaching us the French link stitch. So this is an open binding book where there's not going to be like a closed binding to the book. It's going to be open. So you'll be able to see all of the pages like this. And the nice thing about an open stitch is that they lie really, really flat. So first we used some PVA glue. This glue was really cool because it's pH neutral and acid free. And Bella said that this is the same glue that herbariums use for their plant specimen. Sometimes people collect pressed flowers, or botanical gardens have their pressed flower collections, and at those herbariums they use this exact glue that we were using in this workshop. So after we put the glue down on the chipboard, that's when we cover it with this fabric, this cloth that is going to be essentially the color of your book. I chose this green color because I really like green and plants. And then we went on to the nitty-gritty, which was the stitching. I honestly was lost for half of the time, so I can't explain exactly what I was doing. A lot of bookbinding just with a needle and some string. So the needle that we used was pretty special. It was curved to make it easier to go in and out of paper, and the chipboard especially. The workshop ended up being like 3 hours long, and I can't wait to show you guys what I made. Hi guys, I'm back from the workshop now. I changed back into my t-shirt, but I wanted to show you guys my little book that I made. This is a French book stitch. So if you're curious, this is a series of anchor stitches, and then we did some crosses here, and then more anchor stitches on the edge, and it opens up really flat. I was not gonna lie, I was so confused for like half of the time, so it was a little demoralizing. But as soon as I was able to choose my paper, I chose this beautiful like fruit pattern. It has like gold foil on it. This made me super, super happy with like seeing it all put together. It's not the best craftsmanship by far. I did it a little too loosely, so that's something that I would fix in another attempt. But overall, I'm really happy with this. Oh my gosh, yeah, you could totally see like, especially in between the pages, like it's kind of loose. I think this will be a great scrapbook or a junk journal because it's more loose binding. It has a lot more room to cram stuff in, like paste receipts, photos. I think that'd be really cute. Or because I chose this like harvest pattern, it'd be a good cookbook as well. I've always wanted to make a little recipe book for myself. So bookbinding is actually so fun. I would highly recommend anyone try it if there's any workshops near you. Maybe a local artist who's hosting a workshop. If you're in Colorado, I'll link Bella's Instagram here because she'll probably have future workshops. I think her next one is going to be on figure sketching because she's so talented in portraiture, and that's like her thing. This is just also a hobby for her. This would also be a really good sketchbook, but I already have a sketchbook that I'm working on, so this will probably be a scrapbook. We'll see. I can't believe I made this. I think I'm in a season of my life right now that I'm truly realizing how important collaboration and just like human connection is with other people. The nature of my job is very like, I can be a lone wolf if I really wanted to. I do enjoy spending time by myself too, but these past couple days have just been so fun. I am an introvert. Like I was really tired after the workshop, so I did have to take some time to just like recuperate. But creatively, spiritually, I feel really recharged. I just feel so lucky to have these friendships in my life and to have friends who are so talented, so passionate about what they do. Really inspires me to get better at my craft too, and to uplift and to hopefully build community in my own life. You know, seeing Bella host all these workshops, seeing Ali help out with the marketing at her tattoo studio, I feel really inspired to maybe host my own workshops in the future. That was another thing that I noticed that my friend Coy in San Diego, he hosts a ton of workshops, and I think that's something that I'm missing. I either need to start volunteering more, or I either need to host my own events more, because that aspect of community building, like in person, is something that just can't be beat. Like, it feels so good. It felt so good to be a part of something. So very happy day. This was also such a good lesson, and you know, it's all about the creation, is all about the climb, if you will, because halfway through, honestly, like I was gonna give up. Like, this was so hard for me to do, stitching and bookbinding. It was just, I could not wrap my head around it, but I'm so proud of myself that I finished this, and it's honestly not that bad. Editing Tammy back here. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I feel like this week was a really chatty week. I've been feeling a lot better and like lighter in my chest, so I've been able to talk more and it feels so good. Fingers crossed things continue this way. I know for a fact that I am an introvert because, you know, after meeting with people, I do feel really tired, but at the same time, like I was saying before, my soul feels lighter because I was able to spend time with like my beloved, cherished friends, and even PWUFFY, like Joyce. This was my first time meeting her this week, but it felt like I've known her for years because we've been following each other online for so long, and we were able to talk so much about business, about life. We were talking for hours and hours and connecting on such a deeper level. I'm so grateful for that as well. I think the theme of this week is friendship. It was so fun this week. And then update on the coloring book. We're finally done with the cover, but I think I'm going to reveal that in the next vlog and not this vlog because I want it to be a little bit of a surprise. So yeah, I'm gonna work on ordering the first sample. I'm gonna work on an email list for you guys to sign up. Maybe by the time this is uploaded, that will be a thing. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your week. I'll see you very soon. Bye.
Rusty red on her shoulder, I was cleaning her shoe when it clicked on the trot over in the bright morning dew. We brushed and we braided dandelion